Hi, today we'll be taking a look at that RTX 3060 in Resident Evil 4 chainsaw demo. We're pairing it with an i5 10400F and 16GB of 3600MHz RAM on a Z490 motherboard. I've included 3 different graphics settings for each resolution, max settings with ray tracing on and off, and the prioritised graphics setting. At 4K I've included all FSR settings, but only a few settings for low resolutions, as you don't gain as much performance from lowering it once you become CPU limited, and the image quality gets pretty bad when you do. Quick note with the RTX 3060, I couldn't get the game to run with 4K max settings without it crashing in the village, so I had to turn down the textures to 6GB and the shadow quality to high to get the VRAM usage from red to orange, and then it worked fine. And I kept these settings for all resolutions just to make it a bit simpler. This might not happen with your 3060, but it did on mine. It also could be fine red at low resolutions, but I didn't have time to test this. I've only shown the village scene here as it's pretty much the worst case FPS wise, and in combat is where your frames are really going to matter. You can get 30-50% more frames in dark indoor areas depending on settings and resolution. But I didn't want people expecting high FPS then going to the village themselves and getting a lot less on their GPU. Right, so starting with 4K max settings with RT enabled, we're getting, well, not very good at all to be honest. I mean, dropped right down to 22 there. Seems to be up and down between 28 and 22, not even reaching 30 really. It was honestly an awful experience playing it like this, so I would advise anyone to not. But yeah, you're not doing well at all really. So now we're turning on FSR quality. That's putting us just over 30, at least in this quiet area anyway. So a little better. I mean, it's visibly better to the eye for me anyway, even though it's only a couple of frames. But yeah, you're getting 30, staying above 30 at this point. Now there you go, just to prove me wrong. But yeah, the fire's like the worst place to go for frame rate anyway. We're going to go down to balance now. Now we're getting 35. So let's have a look near the fire. 34, 35. And down to 33 there. That's a bit rough. Well, in the quiet area we're getting up to 40 there. Now we have performance. But yeah, we're getting 38 there. Let's have a look in this quiet area. 41. Oh, there's Mr. Chainsaw. Now we're moving on to ultra performance. I don't know what happened to my little thing there, I must have deleted it. But we're doing a little bit better now. In the 40. 45 there, 47, not too bad. I mean, I consider it a lot more playable around the 45 mark than 30, like massively different. Now we move on to 4K max with RT off, and somehow it's actually worse than with RT on. I don't really understand that. I've never known a game before what you get less frames with RT on, but here we are. And then getting nowhere near 30 really, well, not for me anyway. 25 FPS, it's absolutely terrible. Now we're turning on FSR quality, and we're up a little bit, above 30, and this is like a busy area, what I consider a worst case scenario near the fire. So you are dropping down to 27 there, not great. But when you go into a quiet area you should see a bit of a boost. Yeah, up to like 36 there. And 39. Now we change to FSR balanced. We're getting around about 35 on average. But like up to 39 in the quiet area there. Let's see what this heavier area. Down to 34 there. Not too bad. Now we change to performance mode. It's a bit of a boost to 48 there. Around the 40s. Still not amazing. Now we're putting the FSR to ultra performance, which is getting us around 50 FPS, probably on average, which is playable in my opinion, but really not great to be honest. But with a VRR display, I'd say you could definitely get away with it in this game anyway. And now we're going to move to 4K prioritised graphics, which is giving a slight boost over the RT settings and the max settings, sorry. But nothing major. You can turn the textures up on this setting quite a bit without noticing any difference in performance though. Now we're going to add FSR quality. It's getting us up to 40 there. I'm in a quite busy area here, so let's see. Down to 37 there. Going up into the mid 40s in the quieter areas. So we'll try DLSS balance now. And we're quite similar, it looks like we're about 1 frame ahead really. Nothing special. Maybe 2 there. Now we add FSR performance, which gives us a little boost. Nice 50s there, definitely playable. But once again, not much difference to the max settings, so not much benefit of this graphics card. So moving down to ultra performance. Oh, we're scraping 60 now. Well, it's pretty busy around here, so we can probably get above 60 in a quiet area. If I actually get to one. Oh, there we go, we've seen 60. 65 there, 64. So, I mean, you can touch 60 there, which isn't bad. Right, so now we move on to 1440p. With RT enabled. We're starting off with max settings as well. So we're getting around between 30. Oh, it's proving me wrong constantly. But yeah, not bad. Not a bad start for 1440p with this card. When we had a bit of FSR, it should be alright. So now we move to FSR quality. Getting in the low 50s here in the quiet areas. Isn't bad. Playable experience. The VR monitor. It actually wasn't that bad to play at this frame rate anyway, really. Felt okay. Aiming's not great though. Dropping down to the 40s there. Now we're moving to FSR balanced. These old chainsaw man. We're getting like 53 around here. Nope, it's caught in a trap. And down to 50. That should be the worst case scenario around there though, near the fire. We should be able to hit 60, I'd say, just. Anyway, now we're moving to performance mode, which doesn't really seem to add much benefit. You're already pretty CPU limited now, so you're not going to get much more. I'm getting in the 60s indoors here, but obviously it's a bit of a better situation than the outside fire area. Now we're going to turn RT off, so we're starting at, that's pretty good really, up in the 50s, 55, up down a bit now, in the fire down to 39 there, so it's pretty variable depending on where you are. We're going to add FSR quality. Up here, it's pretty busy here, but normally what I call the quiet area. We're getting around 60 frames a second, 63 there. Once again, we're going to drop a bit near the fire, 53 there. Way down to 50. Not too bad. Now we'll add FSR balanced, and we're getting a few more frames, nothing special. Still dropping below 60 at times. Holding up slightly better near the fire there. Now FSR performance. Indoors now, but we're getting like 75 frames a second there. Not bad. We were just looking at a wall, so not much going on. Going outside, we're back around the 60s. 70 there. It's not bad. It's a little improvement. Pretty good frame rate though, definitely playable. Now we're going to move to 1440p prioritised graphics. And we seem to already be getting up to 63 there in the quiet areas. That's not bad. A bit better than the max settings at this resolution. Up into 50 there near the fire. 47. Quite a big dip. So now we're going to turn on FSR quality, and we're doing pretty good now. 70 frames a second there. 65, 62 near the fire, but staying above 60 all the time. So that fire is the worst case scenario there. So we're doing pretty good at this setting. Now we're going to add FSR balanced. So, looks like it's giving us a little boost here. Even near the fire we're staying pretty much above 60 while dropping just a little below. We gained about 5 frames, maybe not. Once again, you're really CPU limited here at 1440p already. But when you go into this quiet area, you're getting up to 80 there, not bad. Then moving on to performance setting. And it's looking kind of similar really. in the 80s there, just very similar to the balance setting there. Once you're hitting that 50% CPU limit, you don't seem to be able to get much extra out of it really. So now we're going to move to 1080p, RT on at max settings. And I mean, we're still not getting 60 even at 1080p here. But it's close, it's not bad at all. Definitely playable. And we had a bit of SFR quality. It gives us around about 60. $170 in the case there, not bad. It's not really any different, to be honest. We are getting a bit more in this quiet area though. Due to the image quality, we won't go any lower on the FSR settings here. But we'll turn RT off now. I'm in the 60s now. Looking pretty good. Definitely a playable experience. But honestly, I was quite surprised. I thought I'd get a few more frames this resolution with this card. But we're doing alright. So then we're going to add FSR quality to this. And pretty good now. That's more like it. That's what I like to see it. I mean, even with the fire there, it's staying above 60. Getting up into the 70s in the quieter areas. Now moving on to 1080p prioritised graphics settings. I'm doing pretty good here, like 80 odd frames there. 70s in the action. And yeah, we're getting a 71 there, 70, 65. Pretty good. So we're in FSR quality now. We're getting nearly 90 there. Oh, right up to 100 there. Doing really well now. And the game still looks really good in my opinion anyway. And like I said earlier, you can still turn the textures up here without really affecting it, as long as you don't go too high. So you could have this setting with the textures waxed up a bit, and it'll be really good. But yeah, that's it for the RTX 3060 and Resident Evil 4. You can get some really good frame rates as long as you're willing to turn down some settings. If you are happy with 30 FPS, it's capable of it even at 4K with RT, without the use of too much FSR. That can give you a locked 45 at prioritised graphics, which feels a lot better, but you will need FSR performance for this, so the image might be a bit dodgy. At 1440p you're able to get 45 locked with RT on, with a touch of FSR, or locked 60 at prioritised graphics with FSR quality. I'm still struggling to get a locked 60 with RT enabled at 1080p. Maybe if you use excessive FSR, but they'll look terrible. You can get some nice frame rates with RT off though. It seems like the CPU could be holding in the 3060 back a little bit, mainly with RT enabled, but that's a test for the future, maybe. So overall, the 3060 is pretty impressive in this game, which is nice to see. I have a bit more Resident Evil 4 content coming. I'm gonna do a 1080 Ti versus 3060 video once the game actually fully comes out, and I'm also gonna do a 1650 test, and I might even do a little stream, who knows. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe for more. Thanks. Bye.